Welcome everyone! In today's video, we'll follow the journey of a young man as he sets out to build a wooden cabin deep in the heart of the forest. But this isn't just any cabin, it's a high-perched shelter, raised above the forest floor to keep him safe from the wild animals roaming below. With nothing but his hands, tools, and determination, he faces the harsh, icy grip of winter. How will he overcome the challenges of the cold and the wilderness? Let's find out together. To kick off the construction process, he carefully drives multiple sturdy wooden stakes deep into the forest floor. Each post is positioned with precision and hammered firmly into the ground to ensure maximum stability. He takes great care to anchor them securely, knowing that these foundational supports will bear the weight of the entire elevated structure and must withstand the harsh elements of the wilderness. He then connects these vertical supports to the trunks of nearby trees, using strong wooden beams to tie the entire structure together. This creates a stable and elevated foundation that will serve as the base of the cabin. Next, he began placing horizontal wooden planks on the vertical posts to form the floor. Each plank was carefully measured and placed to ensure a level surface and solid support. From the completed floor platform, he continues by adding vertical wooden beams, gradually building up the main frame of the cabin. Each beam is carefully secured, rising one by one to outline the future walls and corners of the shelter. To build the walls, he begins by gathering fresh green moss from the forest floor saw, pliable and naturally insulating. Returning to the structure, he stacks horizontal wooden logs one on top of another to form the cabin walls. Between each layer of wood, he carefully presses strips of moss into the gaps, using it as a natural sealant. This method not only helps to insulate the interior from the cold, but also effectively fills in any spaces between the logs, preventing wind and moisture from seeping through. It's a simple yet ingenious way to create a warm and weatherproof barrier using only materials found in the surrounding forest. To protect the structure from the elements, he covers the entire roof with a large waterproof tarp, carefully securing it to shield the interior from falling snow during the building process. The tarp acts as a temporary but essential barrier, keeping the space dry and workable despite the harsh winter conditions. Thoughtfully planning ahead, he leaves a small opening in the tarp near the top of the roof, an intentional gap reserved for the future installation of a stovepipe. This clever detail will allow smoke from the heating stove to escape safely, ensuring warmth and ventilation inside the cabin once it's complete. He then returns to the unfinished walls, continuing the careful process of stacking logs and sealing them with moss until the structure is fully enclosed. Working with patience and precision, he ensures each wall is sturdy and well insulated. He deliberately leaves an opening. This will serve as the entrance to his elevated woodland home. It's a modest, yet vital detail, marking the transition from a simple shelter into a true livable space. To complete the entryway, he built a sturdy wooden door himself. Using wooden slats, he carefully joined them together and reinforced the structure to ensure it was sturdy and durable. Once finished, he installed the door at the entrance to the cabin, giving his forest retreat a sense of security and completeness. He also adds a bed to the interior of the cabin, bringing both comfort and functionality to his woodland home. Though modest, the bed offers a much-needed place to rest after long days of building in the cold. With this addition, the cabin begins to feel truly livable, no longer just a shelter, but a warm and welcoming refuge in the heart of the forest. To bring warmth to his new home, he installs a small wood-burning stove inside the cabin. Gradually, the cabin begins to warm, pushing back the chill of the winter air. To strengthen the roof structure, he adds horizontal support beams along the peak, reinforcing the entire frame to withstand the weight of snow and the strain of strong winds. These additional beams provide greater stability and ensure the roof remains secure through the winter months. After finishing the reinforcement, he turns his attention to the front wall of the cabin. There, he carefully cuts out a rectangular opening, crafting a space for a window. Into this opening, he fits a pane of glass, allowing natural light to enter the interior while still keeping the cold air out. To keep the interior clean and free from loose debris, he wraps the lower section of the cabin from the floor up along the walls with thick burlap fabric. This natural material acts as a barrier, preventing dust, dirt, and bits of moss used in the wall insulation from falling into the living space. The burlap lining not only adds a layer of rustic charm to the cabin's interior, but also serves a practical purpose, helping maintain a tidier. He then builds a wooden table by hand, using leftover planks and sturdy branches from the earlier construction. With patience and craftsmanship, he assembles a simple yet functional piece of furniture, anchoring it securely to the floor to ensure stability. Outside, the snow has finally melted, revealing the damp forest floor beneath. With the weather clearing, he realizes it's time to build a tall ladder to help him safely access the roof for repairs and finishing touches. Using long, straight branches for the sides and evenly spaced rungs, he constructs a sturdy wooden ladder designed to handle both his weight and the demands of the work ahead. Climbing up the newly built ladder, he makes his way onto the roof with a handful of nails and a hammer in hand. Carefully balancing on the sloped surface, he begins securing the waterproof tarp more firmly. At the front of the cabin, he decides to expand his living area by building an outdoor deck. This addition not only enhances the practicality of the shelter, but also brings a sense of openness and comfort, blending indoor and outdoor life into one harmonious space in the heart of nature. He begins by digging several holes into the ground at the front of the cabin, carefully spacing them out to form the foundation of the new outdoor deck. Into each hole, he he places a strong vertical post, making sure they are upright and evenly aligned. These posts will serve as the main support pillars for the extended floor structure. Once secured in place, they provide a sturdy base upon which he can build the elevated frame of the new living space. He moves on to constructing the framework for the deck. Using a handsaw and chisel, he carefully carves notches and joints into the tops of the vertical posts, creating secure connection points for the horizontal beams. With precise measurements and steady hands, he lifts each beam into place, fitting them snugly into the prepared joints. He fastens the beams tightly using wooden pegs, ensuring the structure is firm and well balanced. As more beams are connected from post to post, the shape of the floor frame begins to appear strong, symmetrical, and elevated just like the main cabin. This interconnected grid of horizontal supports will serve as the foundation for the deck's floorboards, providing both strength and stability. With the support frame securely in place, he moved on to the next step, laying the outdoor deck. He placed each long piece of wood on the cross beams, carefully spacing them to ensure a level surface. Each piece was carefully adjusted, then bolted tightly into place to avoid any shifting or creaking underfoot. As the rows of wooden boards grow, the deck begins to take on its full form, an inviting open platform that extends seamlessly from the cabin's entrance. The smooth, sturdy surface will offer him a versatile space for daily activities, such as preparing food, working with tools, or simply sitting and enjoying the sounds of the forest. To finish the deck and make it safer, he installs a wooden railing along its edges. He starts by placing vertical posts at regular intervals around the perimeter, securing each one tightly to the frame. These upright supports form the base for the railing. Then, he attaches horizontal beams across the top, connecting the posts and forming a continuous handrail. On the roof, he begins outlining the edges by fastening wooden trim along each side. These wooden borders are carefully measured and nailed into place, running neatly along the perimeter of the sloped roof. This step not only reinforces the structure, but also creates a clear frame to support the roofing material that will be added on top. He heads back into the forest to gather fresh, thick moss off, green, and naturally insulating. Carrying bundles of it in his arms, he returns to the cabin and climbs onto the roof. Carefully and patiently, he begins covering the entire surface of the roof with the moss, pressing it down over the wooden trim he had previously installed. The moss serves as a natural roofing material, offering excellent insulation and blending the cabin seamlessly into its surroundings. He returns to the unfinished railing around the deck, ready to complete the job. Taking several sturdy wooden posts, he begins positioning them between the existing supports, spacing them evenly to strengthen the structure and improve safety. Each vertical post is carefully measured and securely fastened to the deck frame, ensuring they stand straight and firm. Inside the cabin, he begins preparing to upgrade the insulation and interior finish. The original setup rough burlap fabric stretched over moss-filled walls has served its purpose, but now he's ready to replace it with something warmer and more comfortable. He carefully removes the old burlap and gently pulls out the dried moss tucked between the wall logs. In its place, he installs a layer of soft, padded fleece fabric, cutting and fitting it to cover the interior walls neatly. Working methodically, he presses each piece firmly into place, filling every crevice where cold air might seep through. The soft material molds easily to the uneven surfaces, creating a snug seal along the length of the walls. By the time he finishes, the entire space is insulated with layers of thick, warm fabric, completely sealing off the interior from the chill outside. The difference is immediate. The air inside feels still, protected, and calm. The cabin now offers not just shelter, but true comfort in the heart of the forest. He also upgrades the interior flooring to make it more solid and comfortable. Taking a set of smooth, well-cut wooden planks, he carefully lays them down across the base of the cabin. Each board is measured and adjusted to fit tightly together, creating a seamless, sturdy surface. As he works, he secures the planks firmly to the underlying frame, eliminating any gaps or uneven sections that might cause discomfort or instability. The transformation is immediate. The rough, uneven base is replaced with a level, polished wooden floor that feels stable underfoot. To add a personal touch to the cabin and make better use of the space, he installs a small wooden shelf on one of the interior walls. Using simple brackets and wooden planks, he carefully mounts the shelf at eye level, making sure it's level and securely fastened. This thoughtful addition reflects not just practicality, but also a growing sense of belonging, proof that even in the heart of the wilderness, there's room for beauty and self-expression. Wanting to make his cabin even more functional, he decides to replace the original wood-burning stove with a more versatile Model 1 that not only provides heat, but also allows him to cook meals indoors. The new stove is slightly larger, with a flat top suitable for placing pots and pans. He carefully positions it against the wall, then modifies the existing ventilation system. Instead of routing the stovepipe through the roof, he now installs it horizontally through the cabin wall. With the new stove in place and the chimney properly installed, the cabin becomes both warmer and more practical. With that final touch, his cabin is complete. From the sturdy, elevated foundation to the moss-covered roof, from the insulated walls to the handmade furnishings, every part of the home has been shaped by his own hands, patience, and perseverance. As evening falls, he prepares his first meal on the new stove. The fire crackles gently beneath a simmering pot, sending warmth and the rich aroma of food into the quiet air. The cabin is no longer just a shelter, it's a home. A quiet, warm, and personal space carved out of the wilderness. In the soft glow of firelight, surrounded by the forest he now calls his own, he enjoys the simple reward of hard work, a warm meal, and a place to belong. His journey here has ended. thank you for accompanying him throughout this journey. If you like, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription so you don't miss the next videos. Goodbye and see you again.